Good evening. For the first time since the takeover of Afghanistan, the Indian government has held talks with Taliban. The safe and early return of Indians stranded in Afghanistan was the focus of the meeting between the Indian ambassador to Qatar and the head of Taliban's political office in Doha. The Indian government has raised concerns of Afghanistan's soil being used for anti-India activities and terrorism. The Indian government has said that the Taliban representative assured that these issues will be positively addressed. This is a hugely significant meeting. It's happened in Doha. This is in fact the first official engagement between the Indian government and the Taliban. Let me just read out some of the statements, some of the key points that have been issued by the government of India in a press note after this meeting. Well, the government of India has said that the Indian ambassador to Qatar, Deepak Mittal, met Sher Mohammad Abbas Stanekzai, who is the head of Taliban's political office in Doha. The discussions focused on safety, security, and the early return of Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. The Indian ambassador raised concerns that Afghanistan's soil should not be used for anti-India activities and terrorism in any manner. The Indian government says that the Taliban representative has assured the ambassador that these issues will be positively addressed. Of course, it remains to be seen whether the Taliban actually walk the talk. Indrani Bagchi, diplomatic editor of the Times of India, joins us. Indrani, what do you read of the statement and this particular meeting, the first of its kind?
Well, it's an important meeting. It shows a couple of things. I think we should understand a couple of things. One, that it was preceded by Stanekzai giving that speech a couple of days ago, where he said that the Taliban would want better relations with India, including restarting the air corridor and transit through Pakistan, and that was an important signal. Today's meeting between Sher Mohammad Stanekzai and Deepak Mittal was held at the request of the Taliban leader and was held in the Indian embassy. All important signals for both India and Taliban. One, that India will take its own part and engage the Taliban in its own way, because after all, India has such a long history with the Afghan people.
Indrani, just another part of this particular statement. It says discussions focused on safety, security and early return of Indian nationals. The travel of Afghan nationals, especially minorities who wish to return to India, also came up. The government of India has not really specified in terms of numbers whether there are Indians left and how many want to come back, and whether the evacuation or operations will continue if and when commercial flights resume. Is this the first indication perhaps that there are still several stranded?
I don't know whether we can call them stranded or whether they're still there. There are certainly 20 Indian citizens that we know of who were supposed to be on a flight, along with 140 Sikhs and Afghan Sikhs and Hindus who were not allowed to get onto a flight a few days ago. Those Indians we know of, but there are also some other Indians who have indicated that they would like to stay on in Afghanistan. And they are private citizens, and they have indicated that they would like to stay on. So that's a different matter. The part about allowing minorities to travel to India if they want to, I think the statement makes it clear that India will get that the Taliban have given a positive response, which probably means that when commercial flights resume, we can expect these people to be allowed to travel to India or to any other part of the world, really.
Indrani, thanks so much. Appreciate you joining us. Sushant Sareen, foreign affairs and internal security expert, also joined us. Sushant, thanks so much for waiting. India's been really tight-lipped about, recognizing the Taliban. They've walked a very fine line every time they've been asked about it. The ME has been asked about it. Was this meeting inevitable?
Well, look, I think we are jumping the gun and getting ahead of ourselves. This is simply a contact and a line of communication which has been established. We've had contact with the Taliban earlier, but that time it was never really acknowledged openly. This time it has been openly acknowledged. So that is the only different thing what has happened this time. And yes, of course, the fact that the Taliban representatives came to the Indian embassy, but he had been making some noises earlier also. So I think from my point of view, I think the government is in a look and feel kind of a mode right now. I don't think the government is ready to afford recognition to the Taliban just yet. I think they want to listen to what the Taliban have to say. What are the assurances being offered? What is being said by them in terms of concerns which India has? And if you look at the statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs today, I think it pretty much conforms to the statement which had come out of the UN Security Council yesterday. It doesn't go beyond that. It sticks to broadly to the text of that particular statement. So I think it's basically a contact, and contact should be established with even people you find absolutely abhorrent. That does not mean you're giving any kind of legitimacy to them. It does not mean that you're affording any recognition to them. It does not mean any of those things. So people who are extrapolating from this meeting to think that India is now moving in the direction of, affording recognition to the Taliban, I don't think that is happening just yet. It might happen, who knows, maybe 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. But I don't think... and whenever that happens, India will take that decision. I don't think India will take that decision depending on what the West does, because the West never took that, whatever decisions they took after taking us in the loop. So I think we will do what we have to do depending on how we see our interests, in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is the importance of this meeting today. Nothing more, nothing less.
Sushant, I completely take your point, perhaps just dipping the toes in the water to check what's there in store. But the government of India in this statement has also said that the Taliban said that they're going to, they will positively address, those are the words that have been used, positively address Indian concerns. Knowing the Taliban, as we have known very closely here, not something though that we can obviously be very believing of.
Absolutely right. And which is why we've got what they've assured. Let us see how they behave. I don't see why India or any other country, for that matter, should be in a rush to either afford recognition to them or, treat them like pariahs. I think most countries have walked out of Afghanistan. Most countries are likely to see how the Taliban, fulfill all the assurances they've given to the international community, including on the issue of terrorism. Including on the issue of an inclusive government, including on the issue of how they will treat women and minorities and even their opponents. Now, frankly, we are seeing two different kinds of things in Afghanistan. We are seeing the assurances and all nice words being spoken by the political guys, but on the ground, we are hearing of reprisal killings, brutal murder of former soldiers, house-to-house searches of academics, of journalists, and all sorts of other people. So we are seeing two different kinds of things happen in Afghanistan. As far as terrorism is concerned, on a number of occasions, very senior Taliban representatives have made it very clear that they do not intend to crack down on any of the terrorist groups inside Afghanistan. And in fact, they've even counseled the Pakistanis and the Chinese that you should come and, have a conversation with these people, try and accommodate them, try and, deal with them, because they are your problem, they are not our problem. Now, if that is the attitude with, any Indian terrorist group or a Pakistani terrorist group which operates against India, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen, or any number of other despicable characters, then, of course, you clearly have a problem on your hands. because you don't want to accord them any degree of legitimacy or acceptability.
Yeah.
And you don't want to deal with them, and you don't want the Taliban to give them any sanctuary out there. So,
Yeah.
so I think everybody is going to wait and watch. Nobody is going to jump the gun, and I don't think the media should also.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sushant, thanks so much for that. I appreciate you joining us and sharing your perspective on that.